the conference tournaments are coming up, guys, for college basketball, and I watched this, and I just talked to Alan before we started today. I just noticed something in the last couple of years, and I don't know if Amos brought anything about last time we talked about it, but I think the champion of this year is watch for good guard play and defense. Guard play and defense wins the March Madness any tournament, conference tournament and March Madness tournament. And right now, the only team that I've seen that has that is Houston. Man, imagine if they win a national championship this year. How that school has went from how long ago? What was that team called? The Slamma Jamma?
Jamma back in 1981, bro.
They have that talent to win something big. And I know there's other schools out there, but this team is not. They're a good team, man.
You can't sleep on them. You can't sleep on them. I think they would be the hands down favorite to take the tournament this year. But I got a little wrench to throw in there too, because you're talking about defense and who's a top two defending team in the country right now. And I know you both, when I say it, you both be like, "Oh, you a homer." But UCLA, bro, them boys are playing some defense and they're shutting down.
UCLA's front court is so deep, talented, and they got guards for sure. And like
they do, bro. And they got two good big men. They're adequate. One of them is actually above adequate. That Bonner kid he's a flyer and he's a defender. Oh my God! And you're right. They go deep in the backcourt.
Right. And Cronin's teams don't seem very fun because he's just so disciplined, but his teams are always elite defensively, so they always are going to bring it, especially in March Madness as far as defensively. UCLA is probably the best team ahead of Gonzaga, ahead of St. Mary's, and ahead of Arizona. Certainly,
they're definitely the best team in the West, right?
Easily, easily.
They should, if they win the conference, they should get the number 1 seed in the West, correct?
Yeah.
What's their seed? What's their seed? What's their current seed right now?
They don't have any seeds, but they're ranked number 4 in the country behind Houston, Alabama, and
if you're top 4,
is it Kansas?
Yeah, it might be Kansas. If you're top 4 though, and you win out, you're locked. You're out of lock for sure. Yeah, they would be locked for sure.
Sacramento, remember, guys, places that they're going to be at this year is what? Sacramento. I think they're going to host.
Yeah, bro, but there ain't no place to stay down there. I already done looked into that one, bro.
I know they're going to play in Seattle this year, right?
I got some family down there. We might be able to kick it with them, but I don't know. I got to hit them up. I've been trying to contact one of my cousins, and he ain't. I know he knows that I want to come and stay with him, and he ain't responding. He ain't responding at all.
Amos, what do you think about Gonzaga this year? Do you think they make a big run?
Man, it's weird because with Gonzaga, they were always a Cinderella team, and then they went through a period where they were an easy out, first round, second round of disappointments, right? And then last like 5-6 years, that's really when they started like recruiting nationally, because now they recruit like big time now, right? They're getting like
now they have kids from all over the country, yeah.
Country. But a lot of that was Tommy Lloyd, who just went to Arizona too. And so with that said, they've kind of fallen off a little bit. They've been kind of hot and cold. I know we talked about maybe a few weeks back. They made it to the championship game. A few years back? Versus what was it? North Carolina, right? They lost to North Carolina. Oh no, was it Duke? Was it North Carolina or Duke?
North Carolina.
No, it was North Carolina.
It was North
Carolina.
They lost North Carolina, and then since then they just kind of disappointments. And they've had so many returning guys like Timmons or Timmy. Is it Timmy or Timmons? Timmy, right?
Timmy.
And they have Strother, who's a first round guy too as well. And then like their guards are good, are really good. They got a transfer from Kansas this year, but they don't seem like they have elite guards. And like I said, with Tommy Lloyd moving this year to Arizona, it just seems like their defense efficiency hasn't been nearly as good as they usually are. And so I would just say, Gonzaga still has the experience, man. He's been around for 8 years, it seems like, forever. But like you said, Efren, man, I'll never disagree with anyone that says March Madness is all about guard play, because it's always about guard play and defense. That I agree for sure. And I just don't know if Gonzaga has those guys that can just take over a game, like a Houston per se, like their type of guards. Also, Houston has one of the best young guys, big men as well too, a freshman. I'm spacing on his name,
Walker.
but he
I think it's
was
Walker. I think it's Walker.
Walker maybe something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
He
really
was an
good.
African kid.
He's
No?
a lottery projected guy potentially. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year, Efren. I look forward to it, man. We'll talk again once they start.
Once the tournament, once the conference tournaments get going, we'll have to get a little deeper into it. So let me what was I gonna say? I know what I was gonna say. So give me your number one seeds right now, as of the season right now. Give me your number one seeds.
Go ahead, Amos.
Well, I mean, I don't have it in front of me, so I can you give me? I know UCLA is number 4, obviously, right? We said Houston, that's 2.
It's Houston, Alabama, Kansas, and UCLA, and then Purdue is right behind them.
Yeah. Kansas, man, they that's a team you want to put money on just based off their history. They always go pretty deep. It's funny too because if you guys remember Self, right? Self was just like because Self for a while would be an early out, and now it's the opposite. So I would honestly just say I'm gonna just make the cop out, Alan. I'm gonna say those 4 teams because I don't really see any of them losing. Like UCLA, for example, nobody in the Pac-12 is beating UCLA other than Arizona, and I really like UCLA better. For example, Kansas, I trust them going deep. Houston, in that conference, I don't see anyone beating Houston. And who was that? Who was the last team we said?
UCLA.
Alabama is number 2.
Alabama, we haven't really mentioned them. I mean, the best current freshmen playing. They have a really good mix between veterans and young guys. Talent-wise, they might be even more talented than Houston. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make an easy cop out and pick those top 4. But I promise I'll have
the top 4 teams. Okay.
I promise I'll have better upsets come tournament time, though.
I got it.
So what happens if Alabama loses Miller? Do you think they can maintain? He's pretty much carried that team since the whole thing broke last week.
He's by far their best player, and as talented as they are, he's like you see the difference between him and the second best player, right? So no, I don't go on, but I'd also say
so they fall out.
But we haven't learned anything new, right, since then. So
right.
I'd be continually playing.
Actually, so that's another thing. The coach was talking a little bit about the Bama team, and I just heard him make a statement about it's all on him. Like this is all on him right now, supposedly. But like we talked, like we've been talking about this kid from Alabama. Yes, he has been carrying that. I seen that Auburn game. Man, that kid's the truth, man. That kid can play defense, offense, can do everything you need him to do to win a game, man. So my top 4, I'm gonna surprise you right here. I'm gonna go with of course with Houston, number 1 seed. I'm gonna go with Bama, even if they lose them, they're still gonna get a number 1 seed. My 2
you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
My 2 bottom seeds, my 2 other number 1 seeds, I'm gonna have to go with Purdue. All year they've been playing good, and I know they've won, but their conference, man,
especially if they win that conference, bro. Yeah, especially if they win that conference.
I see Minnesota beat Iowa, whatever. You've been seeing these other Iowa beat Indiana. You're like, what the heck's going on?
Right.
So,
and that's Iowa. Didn't Northwestern just beat Iowa State?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't pick Purdue. I mean, Purdue probably has the best player in the country right now, right? The 7'4" big. But did
you see him last weekend?
He can play. Against Indiana, he can't play against what's his name? That other kid from Indiana, he's good, but the best player in
Davis?
No, is Davis the kid from Indiana?
Yeah, Davis is the kid from Indiana. It's Dell Davis's son, actually.
That's Dell Davis's son?
Yeah, Dell Davis's son.
I did not know that.
I'm just saying, I don't know. They're both really good players, but I just think the Big Ten, though, it's deep, man. It's gauntlet to get through that conference.
That's why I went through Purdue. And sorry to kick out UCLA, sir, but
you gonna put Kansas in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
UCLA.
Okay.
The only
And
reason,
I can see that. I think the Pac-12 is probably a weaker conference of those four. But let me ask you this though: Does the conference that Houston play in, does that hurt them?
yes, yes, it does. It does hurt them
So
because
you
it's not.
think
It does, doesn't it? Don't you
It
think? I
does.
mean, when it comes time when they gotta play, a hungry team in the tournament,
But you
it might backfire on them.
can you check? So if we check their regular season, they played against big teams this year.
They have played a
Yeah,
few. They have played a
I
few.
think I think that's what I
Power
think.
Five teams.
Yeah, but I think that's what helps them out this year. That they played these big teams in the regular season and didn't have a regular easy season.
Okay. So my four ones would be obviously Houston, Alabama if the team stays together. I would throw UCLA in there, and then I would put Purdue over Kansas, only because of the way Kansas played early on in the conference.
Okay.
And so, like Amos said, historically, that's a college that you can pretty much bank on is going to make it to the Elite Eight. But I just think that their inconsistency, although the Big 12 was a strong conference this year, you got Baylor, TCU, Texas played well, A&M kind of A&M's in the SEC though now, but
Virginia's been all right too.
some of the traditional powerhouses like OK State and Oklahoma, they didn't do all that well this year, but they were still, in those big games, they still came to play. So, I think Kansas, after that run last year, I think they're probably going to have a letdown. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but I would say, to you guys when we were talking about Gonzaga early, I think they might be destined for a long run just because they had such a struggle in the conference this year, and they still put together a pretty good record. Traditionally that's a team that goes in with one or two losses into the tournament and then flops in the second or the third round. And
Right.
so I think that the hardship that they face this year is probably going to prepare them a lot more for the tournament. They've got the experience, and and to what Amos said about the recruiting now, they're actually getting guys from everywhere now. So I think that mix it's going to put them in the talk, as far as maybe making the Final Four, Elite Eight, and and surprising somebody.